welcome to Kristen Kelly TV. Today I'm going to be going over some updates with my life. If this is something you'd like to watch, please continue. Whew. Okay, so I'm officially 30 weeks pregnant. Want to see my belly? Crazy, I know. So I'm 30 weeks pregnant. So we officially have 10 weeks left until baby Winter's due date. So it's kind of crunch time. Right now we live in a 1-bedroom apartment. We need to move. We just looked at 2 houses this morning. Each were a 3-bedroom. So we looked at those this morning, and then what else? I've been looking at houses and stuff. I graduated school, as I talked about, and I'm taking my state board test tomorrow. So I'm taking my state board test tomorrow. I've been looking at houses. So I've been a little stressed with that stuff. However, I want to talk about my pregnancy with you guys. So 3rd trimester. So your pregnancy is 3 trimesters. I pretty much skipped trimester number 1 because I didn't know I was pregnant. But I didn't have any pain or anything. I didn't throw up, I didn't feel sick. I had no symptoms. So trimester 1 for me was pretty awesome. Trimester 2 for me, additionally awesome. And I started looking pregnant. So I really liked trimester 2 because when you're pregnant, you're special, you're a unicorn, everybody smiles at you, everyone is so nice to you, strangers want to talk to you. So trimester 2 for me was really nice. Additionally, never sick, did not feel sick, was good the whole time. Trimester 3, almost to the day, to the day. So how they measure you when you're pregnant, or how they do when you're at the doctor's, is they say to you, so for me, Thursday is my day. So each Thursday I progress. So I'm 30 weeks right now, and next Thursday, so tomorrow is Monday, so on Thursday I'm gonna be 31 weeks. And then normal pregnancy is 41 weeks. So I'm gonna have 10 weeks left until the pregnancy is here. So 3rd trimester, almost to the day, has been so different because I was I have been crying so much, and it's not that I'm crying because I'm I'm emotional. I'm crying because the pain. Right now, I actually feel pretty good. My stomach hurts, and I constantly have this feeling like I have to poop, but I can't poop. But then when I do poop, it is such a good feeling. But I constantly have this feeling that I'm gonna poop, or that I have to poop. You know, not that pressure feeling that you really want to take a poop, but then you can't poop, or you know. So I have that. My hips, I don't even want to talk about this because now I'm not in pain right now, but I have been the last 3 days. So my left hips, they say that you're supposed to sleep on your left, but I actually took a class yesterday that I'll talk about. I took a 9-hour class yesterday on childcare, but I had heard that you had to sleep on your left because it's better for the blood, for the baby gets the most blood and everything like that. So I've been sleeping on my left side. My left hip, it's just talking about it is making my hip hurt. I don't even want to talk about it. But the last few days, my left hip has been in excruciating pain, excruciating pain, to the point where I was crying. And then my pelvis has just been hurting because your pelvis is getting ready to have a human head come through it. So, and actually your pelvis kind of it gets soft almost, and it loosens. So my pelvis has been so painful. So the last few days, I can see why people get on drugs. I literally, I don't know if ever in my life before I've really understood what chronic pain was. The last few days have been so painful, so painful. Waking up, excruciating pain. Going to the bathroom, excruciating pain. Taking a shower, excruciating pain. I would get a little bit of relief. Like my pain would be at like a 6, and then I maybe like a 5, and then I would get in the bathtub and I would sit in the bathtub and my hip would feel a little better. Maybe to like a 3, which is still pretty painful. But that was helping, but it was non-stop pain. And then also really, really bad heartburn, which I'd never experienced heartburn before. So it was crazy. It was like 30 weeks happened, and then almost to the day, like to the second, it was like 30, it was like 3rd trimester, and then everything, it was like the floodgates opened. Just so much pain. So for the heartburn, I've been taking Tums, but you can only take 6 Tums in 24 hours if you're pregnant. And I've been taking Zantac, and then I got Mylanta. I got Mylanta, which I think is such a cute name, Mylanta. So I got Mylanta on Amazon. I have not used it yet, but so I've been taking those things, and they say if you eat smaller meals, the heartburn is less. Don't eat and then lay down. Don't drink coffee and soda, beverages like that, and it's supposed to help. But at first, it was just when I was laying down, I would have bad heartburn. So like there was one night where I mean, there's been definitely many sleepless nights, but there was this one particular night where I was so exhausted, and I was laying down, and then I got heartburn. If you've never had heartburn, it really feels like burning, and it's so uncomfortable. It's like this raging pain coming from your chest up, and it really feels like fire. Laying down trying to go to sleep because I was so exhausted, and then I couldn't lay down because the heartburn was so intense, so I had to sit up, and I can't sleep sitting up. So I'm just sitting up, and I took Tums and I took Xanax, and nothing helped. And I was just crying. I just sat there and cried because it's like you couldn't do anything. Like I couldn't sleep. I was exhausted, but I couldn't lay down because the heartburn was so intense. It was so bad. So now it's during the day. Like that was like, oh, but it was just at night. It was just when I was trying to sleep. Now it's during the day. So now it's like during the day I'm getting heartburn. So far today it's 11:30. I woke up at 7, and I haven't had any heartburn today. Yesterday, I would say it was mild. I only woke up maybe 4 times during the night, which I know, 4 times, but that was like a light wake up for me. And then the pelvic pain was only a few days that it was real bad, but I feel like it's gonna come back. And then my left hip hurt so intensely that I'm gonna make sure that I don't sleep as much, because I feel like maybe I was like sleeping a lot, and that's why, because even before I was pregnant, if you ever lay on your hip for a long time, you know, on one side, it hurts. But it was like, with that, it would hurt and you would wake up, and then like a few hours later it would go away. This was like all day long, and it was almost like progressing, like it was getting more and more painful. So yesterday, Chris and I took this class. It was from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. and they went over everything. And I actually learned a lot, because so this class was all about birthing a baby. We're scheduled for a class on how to take care of newborns, like how to change their diaper, because I've never done that, how to swaddle, because I've never done that, how to like feed them and do all this stuff with them. And then I think I'm also going to take a CPR class. It's all full, but I'm on the wait list. And then I'm also signed up to take the lactating class for like breastfeeding. So we took this child class yesterday. It was kind of like Lamaze. I mean, that's how I would categorize it. You know, they go over breathing. So they went over when you're having a contraction, you're supposed to take a big breath in, and then you're supposed to like pretty much do that until you get to the point, and then they went over different breaths. Like you could do like the breath, like, and then they went over the, they went over that, they went over everything, and they went over different things, like you're supposed to move your hips a lot. They went over some massages. It's just so funny because Chris is so big and I'm so tiny compared to Chris. So like, even it was funny at one point, the teacher, she was like, you know, like she's like, oh, can I use you? And she like grabbed Chris, and then she was like, oh my God, how big are you? Because Chris is like tall, but he's also like, he's like a Viking. And it was just so funny. The teacher was like, Jesus. So they set us up at different stations, and like your partner is supposed to like do the different massages on you. And he was so, like, he's so strong and he's so big. And it was just funny, like there was one where he was, like you're supposed to take your hands and kind of like cup them around the hips and kind of like lift them. So like I'm supposed to be like this with my hands like on a cabinet or something, or I'm supposed to be like moving my hips, and then Chris has his hips on my, his hands on my hips, and he's supposed to be like lifting me, but he was like squeezing me, and it was so painful. And I was like, a little bit too much on the squeezing. But he's like, what? Because to him, it's like he thinks he's like, you know, he doesn't realize how strong he is. And then there was just different exercises where he's so much bigger than me. Like there was one where there was like a medicine ball, and like the woman has to like straddle it, which actually really helped. And then the guy was a massager, but he's so tall, he's so big, and he's so tall, like high up, and I'm so low down. So it's just, we were just like, our heights were so different that it was kind of funny. And then Chris doesn't like talking, and I clearly love talking. So when we got there, they were like, introduce yourselves. So I'm like, hi, I'm Chris, and this is Chris, and da 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 da. And then like the lady looks over to Chris, and I'm like, and he's just like, and he's like bright red. I'm like, he doesn't like talking. Like, I'll talk for him in public. But it's so funny. Our personalities are so funny because I'm such a ham and I'm so outspoken. I'm so like, yeah, everybody look at me. And then Chris is so like, please don't look at me and please don't talk to me. So we watched a bunch of different videos. She answered a lot of questions, and I feel like I really didn't know that much. And I'm like, all this stuff that I thought I knew, where did I get this information? Like, I thought that a C-section, they went over like every type of different birth. And in a C-section, they show you videos, and then she shows you like with the doll and stuff, how everything works. I had heard that with a C-section that they cut you and they take your organs out and put your organs like on the table and then take the baby out, and that's not true at all. They cut you and then they take is it the uterus? It's the bag that the baby's in. Yeah, it's the uterus. They take that out and like deliver the baby, but that's not all the time, I guess. But then they put that back in or something, I don't know. It was just, they don't take out your organs, and for some reason I had heard that they cut you and they take your organs out and put them there. So I was like, oh my God. And then also I had heard that and then the different types of like pain relief. I was really confused about different pain relief. So there's like a bunch of different stuff they do. Like they can do the nitrogen oxide, which is like laughing gas, to get you through the contractions. And you can do, there's like a few different types of shots that they can put into your IV. And then, yeah, so there's like a bunch of pain relief that they can do that's not an epidural. A lot of different pain coping mechanisms that they have that's not just, you know, like putting a needle in your spine. And then also I had heard horrible things about getting the needle in your spine. I had heard that it did this and it did that, but it really doesn't numb you like you think it numbs you. My water could break and I could be in early labor for 6 hours. So if my water can break, and then I can be in terrible pain at my house for 6 hours, and then go to the hospital, and then at the hospital be in pain for another, 20 hours. So what the epidural does is that it like it gives you an opportunity kind of to sleep, because it makes the pain go away for a little bit of time, but it doesn't make you completely numb. And so I thought that like you weren't able to move your legs. You can still move your legs, you can still feel things, it's just not as intense, and it's supposed to like take the edge off kind of thing. So I feel like a lot of the stuff that I knew, or a lot of the stuff I thought I knew, was like urban legend. So definitely it's true, you don't know what a procedure is going to be like till it happens, and everybody's pregnancy is different. But I definitely feel like I learned a lot, and the class was really long, but I'm happy that I took it, because I feel like I was really clueless before it, and I feel I'm better educated now, and I feel like education is power. The more classes you can take. It was expensive. I think it was like $300 for us as a couple, but I'm gonna send it to, we got like a certificate, so I'm gonna send that and the receipt to my insurance, and they're supposed to reimburse you, or maybe they'll reimburse me for a little bit, but if they do or if they don't, whatever. I mean, it was a good learning experience, and I'm happy we took it, and I think that it should be available for everybody to take. You know, it helped me understand, like, I'm not as scared about labor, because we talked about this too, is that, you know, the scariest thing about labor is the unknown, because you don't know what it's going to be like, because you've never done it, you know. And how many times were you terrified before something happened? Like, I remember auditions. I used to be so scared about auditions, and then after you go to a few auditions, you're like, I could go to auditions all day, because that's what you have to do. But it's like, you're so terrified, but then you do it. You didn't die, you got over it, and it's done, you know. So I definitely felt really good. Like, I felt like it was almost like SAT prep or something. Like, I feel more prepared. So I'm really excited about taking the infant class with the swaddling and the diapers and the feeding and stuff. I'm excited to do that, because never change a diaper except the dogs. Yes, that was cool. And what else? Taking my state board test tomorrow, so wish me luck. I am so, like, standing has physical activity has really become crazy. Standing is very difficult. Standing for like more than 5 minutes is almost unbearable. So I'm supposed to stand for like an hour during the first, because there's two tests. There's a written test, there's practical, and practical is like hands-on, you show them different things. I'm supposed to stand during that. I'm gonna have to tell them I'm gonna need to sit, and if they tell me that I can't, I might not be able to take this test, and I'm in so much pain. I don't know how my pain is gonna be that day, you know. So I'm looking at this more of a practice. If I pass, wonderful. If I don't pass, it's a practice. I'll do it again. It's $150 to take the test, and honestly, I will eat that cost, because I am in so much pain right now, and I don't know how much pain I'm going to be in tomorrow, that if I do not pass, I'm really not gonna be mad at myself, because I'm making a human being. I'm doing something extraordinary right now, and stuff happens, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, and I'll just take the test again. It's not like you can take it as many times as you want, which is another thing. It's not like they're gonna be like, no, you can't take it again. Like, it's not like when you become a lawyer, you know, and you don't pass the bar or something, you can only take it a few times. It's not like that. So yeah. Also, baby shower is next month, so we need to do the baby shower and move, and we're doing so much, so hopefully I can just, you know, get through all of it. But yeah, third trimester, no joke. Okay, I will talk to you guys later. I love you. Bye.